Thank you very much. So the first slide shows the drawing of integration of a reductionism. And I have been very much interested in the idea of transdisciplinarity or transdisciplinary studies, the short is TD. Sometimes my good friends in OECD gave me some nickname, transdisciplinary samurai. And transdisciplinary means dynamic process of adding a new dimension to multidisciplinarity, fusing and bridging different disciplines to create a new field. Collaboration between scientists, scholars, and practitioners. And the objective is towards human security and well-being. And you see such kind of spiral. I published this one about 15 or 20 years ago. This is from the principle of NMR. This principle is applied to MRI because I developed the various kinds of MRI and functional MRI. So I was familiar with this kind of concept. So that's why I just used this spiral expression. But I was very much impressed when I visited here. I knew the very similar spiral appeared in law school. That's multidisciplinary. But in the three-dimensional scale, we can have one vertical direction. So the concept is very much different from multidisciplinary. That's the concept of transdisciplinary. Especially the brain science and analytical science must be the key to realize this transdisciplinarity. I think this idea could be helpful for the innovation laboratory. And this idea just came from the principle of the nuclear magnetic resonance. One very important thing is we need some field to get the coherence of the individual disciplines. Yesterday, we discussed the relationship between natural sciences and the arts. This field is also the typical example of the transdisciplinarity. So in Japan, I published this book in 2008. Unfortunately, it was written in Japanese. And the title is Brain Science and the Arts. A little bit big book. And about 15 major artists in Japan collaborated. And also the other 15 major neuroscientists in Japan collaborated to make this book. I was very much impressed because I asked about 30 people, but nobody refused to make effort to write this book. So they are very much interested in this book. When I edited this book, I just found the meaning or the construction of the arts. You know, there's so many books on what the arts. But this drawing is from brain science. So this axis, one direction is intelligence component. The other direction shows the sensibility component. And there are many kinds of the arts, but some arts is intelligence-oriented, and some art are the sensibility-oriented. But very important thing is both are necessary in the arts. And sometimes in performing arts, during performance, sometimes the center is moved during performance. Intelligence axis, intelligence orientation, and intelligence direction or sensibility direction. This kind of thing is from the brain science. Direct application of brain science is like this. The very strong motivation or movement is very important in learning and education, and of course, in the earth. This shows the brain activity when we are moved. This ephemeral slide shows the insular cortex is very much related to the function of the movement. So insular cortex is activated and integrate information processing from throughout the body. That means body is very much related to the arts. That's a very important thing. Also, we recently found several new things. We are very much interested in reward system because it's related to motivation and the will to learn. Emotion, strong emotion must be very important in the art and also in creation, also in science, technology, and engineering. And this is a different experiment we published in Neuron 2008. The paradigm we used is a little bit complicated. So it's not enough time to explain about the very minute thing. But if we get money by game or something, this striatum is activated, especially coordinate nucleus. This is the monetary rewards case. Monetary rewards just activate the striatum. But not only the monetary reward, social reward also activate the striatum. This is very, very important thing. Social reward is, for example, we get a trust from our friend, or we get the someday good reputation from society. Even such kind of thing can activate this reward system, especially the striatum. This is Putin is also. This is a case of social reward. So this is really the very important hint for education. How to nurture this kind of value-educated thing. We found a lot of possibility in education, especially in infant education. Last week, I visited the disaster area in north part of Japan. This is the second visit for me. The reason why I visited there, I have been trying to help the people there as much as possible, as much as I can. I'm doing various kind of things, but not so effective. I'm very sad. There was a very wonderful city in this area, in this bay. So many houses existed here. I'm on the hill. On the hill, there is a hospital for this town. It's higher than 20 meters. And I just stood up here, but the people stood up the 20 meters highest, very high hill, also disappeared. Unbelievable thing. Nothing remained. Nothing. Only one thing, I'm not sure, but this building was left. That's the only one building. Whole town disappeared. And in this case, in this town, tsunami went up to more than 40 meters height, 40 meters altitude. Unbelievable. There are so many towns in Japan like this. So this is the houses. Now we can see this kind of thing. This is a school. Even the third floor, everything disappeared inside. This is the present situation in Japan. What can science engineering do? So last year, we had some the convocation meeting, convocation of the CATES in Mexico City, International Council of Academies of Engineering and Technological Sciences. At the beginning of the convocation, I had a chance to talk. I just see, following the disaster, we return to basis to guide the way of thinking. For example, does materialistic prosperity ensure happiness, well-being, or what is most important as human beings? What is the final destination of engineering? The true objective of engineering? We are again taking a good look at human security and well-being. A new field of human-oriented engineering is being pursued, such as the development of a diagnostic apparatus for mental illness to decrease the suicide rate, the improvement of various education and rehabilitation opportunities for human empowerment, as well as engineering for new energy resources. I thought once more, the original meaning of science, engineering, and technology. This is a case of the science. The word stem of science is psi. This is from the Greek, meaning as split or divide. In case of engineering, the word stem is gen. This word is from Greek gen. This means to give birth. That's the reason why, for example, in case of Genesis, uses this word stem. And also the genes, in case of gene, also use this word stem. So the original meaning of engineering is to create something. So in case of science, we want to know the nature more deeply, or want to discover various kind of phenomena in the future. So it's not related to ethics directly. But in case of engineering, human being will produce a new thing in the future. So the ethics must be very important. I would like to work for the ethics in engineering. Also, the three things are important: engineering, science, technology. Usually we use the science and technology, but I think it's not enough. So the science, engineering, technology, three axes are necessary. This is a new idea, so I would like to try to think about this. This is the structure of science from etymology. Maybe you know this is the E gene. So this is Yo Yang. This is almost the same, not exactly the same system as binary system in mathematics. more than 1,000 years ago, Chinese just discovered this kind of thing and tried to apply to various fields like medicine and so on. As you know, Leibniz usually thought he just made the binary system. But Leibniz also wrote, he was very much interested in the culture of ancient China and got a hint of binary system. That was the case of science. This is a case of engine. This is a real engine. I like this kind of machines. I love this engine. This is very powerful, 1.7 horsepower engine, but on my power, very compact. And this is a Stirling engine. This is also very interesting one. Just the temperature difference between my palm and room temperature, it works, rotates. That's a Stirling engine. What's the meaning of engine? Jin means to birth. Just we put something in it, we get output. So this is exactly a system itself. So the system thinking is very important. And in case of technology, it's not modern meaning of the arts or technology. That's the original meaning of the arts. Techne and Greek means skill. The craft arts is writing. Very similar meaning. So these Greek sculptures are wonderful because in Greek age, they think how to imitate the nature as minutely as possible. The human body is, of course, the nature. That's the beginning of the art and technology. So thank you very much for hearing. Thank you.